Rupper, what about the move and what he brings for the next 2 years to Carolina?
Carolina's strengths has been and still is their D-corps. And it's a depth guy in Hayden Fleury that I think you're going to see more and more, and what we have seen, getting a little bit more responsibility each year that passes. So as you see him lined up in there, I mean, that's a really nice top-end D-corps that they have. So when you're a part of that, that's really good. And so he's there for another couple years, and he's still working on, you know, kind of pushing the bar in his career. So I like the signing. It's a depth signing on the back end, and their strength remains their strength.
7th overall pick in the 2014 draft of Carolina. Grimmer, when you look at this, he's part of what's become their culture. He didn't back down against the Big Bad Bruins, a team that won the President's Trophy in the postseason. Fleury for 2 more years for the Canes. Your reaction?
Yeah, I think that makes great sense, Tony. 2 years at $1.3 million. You think at this point Hayden Fleury could afford to buy a vowel? Am I sure? Am I reading that right? Haydn? DN? No E in there. Okay. I mean, it makes great sense for me. I'm with Rupper. It's a depth signing. Listen, here's the thing. I think at the end of the day, we're talking about a defender who is now probably entering his 4th full season in the NHL. I think is really rounding out on both sides of the puck. We've seen a nice progression, really, even on the offensive side of the puck, where Hayden Fleury is concerned. This is a guy that may emerge in the top 4 at some point for these Carolina Hurricanes, and why wouldn't there's just no reason for that not to happen in Carolina. So I think the signing makes great sense, and again rounds out a starting 6, for lack of a better description, that just bodes well for a Carolina Hurricanes team that to me is on the rise. Like the signing a lot.
Battled the Bruins in a 5-game series, and as we think back to the year before, got all the way to the Eastern Conference Final against the Bees. Their offseason moves, Rupper. You look at the additions and the subtractions. Have they done enough to take another step?
I don't know if they've done enough to take another step. I like this team. I still like this team, but I'll tell you what, they have one of the best undercover pickups, acquisitions in free agency, and Jesper Fast.
Okay.
I love that
Quickie.
deal. It's $2 million a year, what he did and what he can do, the intangibles he can provide. I like that really shot in the middle of the lineup. Him with the Jordan Staal. That's really nice third line right there. Start to echelon team in the Eastern Conference.
I just got a text, Grimmer, from Pat Haden, Haden. He was the backup quarterback for the Rams in Super Bowl 14. They lost the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're getting off track here. Same question for you that I asked Rupper. The moves in the offseason by the Canes, enough for them to take the next step?
Well, interesting, yeah. I think the answer to it, Tony, I think is yes. I think they've done enough to take another step. But remember, where the Canes are concerned, most of that improvement or that next step really comes from the group internally progressing, developing as a core. And for me, you know, the critical question really is, how does that top 6, specifically Teravainen, Aho, how does this group mature ultimately to propel this group into the upper echelon on the east side? And I too have concerns about, interesting, in an off season where we probably saw more goaltending activity, more goaltender-based transactions than we have at any other point in recent memory. Surprised that the Canes, who I'm not sold on this goaltending tandem either, surprised that they didn't do something there to bolster what they've already got in a Mrazek-Reimer tandem.
And we see the numbers of their netminders. Canes fans, they remember back to Cam Ward, the youngster, in 2006 when they were able to hoist the cup for Peter Laviolette. They have been looking ever since then for elite netminding.